Previous class we have discussed the goal of a LP. In this class we will discuss another another method for solving a LPP problem, and that this method is known as uh, dual simplex method. This method is known as dual simplex method. So we will understand this method, dual simplex method, by considering an example problem. And the problem is like this: minimize small f small f is equal to 20x1 plus 16x2, subject to the constraints x1 have x1 x2 as variables. Constraints are in x1 and x2. So x1 greater than 2.5 he has given, x2 he has given x2 greater than or equal to 6, then x2 x1 x2 greater than 70. Then we have x1 plus x2 x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 12, and also x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. That means non-negative, either 0 or any positive. So this is our problem, optimization LPP. And in this you have to approach this problem at the beginning as your simplex method. As your simplex method, you have to proceed. You have to first approach this minimization problem. So in your simplex method, the standard form of simplex method for minimizing f, minimization of a function, objective function, is that you have to make these constraints, these linear inequalities, not greater than or equal to make it less than or equal, right? So our first step is to convert it into a canonical. So the canonical form is canonical form in simplex method. So first you have to approach this as you solve a simplex method, as you solve in the simplex method. So the canonical form is to minimize is this f is equal to minimize f is equal to 20x1 plus 16x2, and all these inequalities must be less than or equal to. So for all constraints you have to multiply by x1, so that you will get minus x1 then or equal to minus 2.5, then minus x2 is then or equal to minus 6, then minus 2x1 x1 x2 less than or equal to 70, then minus x1 x2 less than or equal to minus 2. Then the standard canonical form. In canonical form, we have the two variables also must be non-negative. So x1 comma x2 same condition will the variable. So this is our canonical. Now in this here we have to add the slack variables for constraints, right? In order to make it as easy. So that is what our second step in a simplex method. So the constraints becomes minus x1. I'm introducing slack variables as x3, x4, x5 and x6. So introducing slack variables x3, x4, x5 and x6. So if I have to, we need to observe that this less than or equal to inequality. So if I have to add the slack variables. So adding meaningfully, we are adding slack variables. It's minus x1 plus x3 equal to 2.5. Then minus x2 plus x4 equal to 6. Then minus 2x1 minus x2 plus x1 equal to minus 7. Then minus x1 minus x2 plus x6 equal to minus 2. And finally we have the canonical form containing the objective function x20 x1 plus 16x2, okay, plus you have 0x3 0x4 plus 0x5 plus 0x6 plus minus f equal to 0. So this is our canonical form in a simplex method, right? So the basic solution corresponding to this equation, this constraints given by this one okay, system of this equation is actually it is not feasible. That means we will not get a basic feasible solution here. Basic feasible solution does not exist. Why? Because if you make our variables x1 x2 as 0, right, that is what our procedure, right? So if you make the non-basic variables 0, x1 0 and x2 0, then you will get x3 and x4 as minus. That is, you will not get a non-negative, that is either positive or 0 solution for this. That means x3 will be negative and x4 will also be negative. So in that case, what we will declare it as basic feasible solution does not exist. That is what our conclusion here. So, an interesting point that is to be noticed is that if you find out the dull of this problem, dull of this LPP, if you find out, then what you will get is uh, you will have this uh, in, in place of B1, that is B1 is this is our B1 2 3 B4. So in dual B1, in place of B1 B2 B3 B4, we will get in dual it as C1 and C2, right? So if you observe C1 and C2 here, it is C1, sorry, C1, and this is C2. So if you observe the C1 and C2, C1 is equal to 20, C2 is equal to 16, and both are non-negative. So in that case, if you put the non-basic variables of 12 of 12, if you put 0, you equate to 0, then you will get the solution, the basic solution for basic variables as positive, as C1 and C1 equal to 20 and C2 equal to 16. So you will be able to get the basic feasible solution as basic feasible solution as 20 and 16. So these are non-negative numbers, non-negative values. So you can proceed with the simplex method, right? So that is the important observation in on this kind of problem. That means you have to find the basic feasible solution does not exist for this the original LPP, but basic feasible solution exists for the dual of the LPP. So in that case, we will go for our dual simplex method. Then go for dual simplex method. So this method is nothing but simplex method applied to 12. That's all. 12 of the LPP, 12 of our primal problem. So we will proceed with our simplex method, and in order to proceed with simplex method, we have to construct a table for first iteration, right? So that for the first iteration and our basic variables, we are considering the basic variables as x3, x4, x5 and x6, which are our slack variables, which are added to the corresponding constraints. So here the basic variables column will occupy this x3, x4, x5 and x6, that is slack variables. Then we have our normal procedure of filling the tabular column. That is, we will tabulate, we will fill x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, all the variables here as row. We will write it, and then we have the minus f column, and then we have the pi, the solution column, pi star solution column, and correspondingly we will write the coefficients, x1 coefficient, x2 coefficient, x3 coefficient, like that. For our first of all, we will consider the constraints. So we have we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 number of constraints we got. So for the first constraint, the coefficient of x1 is -1, then x2 is 0, then for x3 coefficient is 1, and then x4 0, x5 0, x6 0, then minus f is minus f coefficient is also 0, and the constant, right hand constant, we will write in the solution column. So that is -2.5. So like that we will proceed our simplex method. That already you have practiced that. So that is our step, constructing our tabular column. So then what the next in the very next step, in the case of simplex method, what we will observe the minus f row. We will observe the minus f row and find out which is the most negative number, and that column we will note, and that column, the column corresponding to that most negative value, that we will see it as our entering variable, that is entering variable, which is entering to this basic variable portion, and the leaving variable will be in order to find out the leaving variable, then you have to fill the ratio column, right? Ratio column you have to fill, and in that ratio column we will consider only the positive values, and we will find out the minimum value in that, and we will the corresponding row will leave the tabular column. The corresponding row that points out the basic variable, that corresponding basic variable leave the tabular column. In that way we have proceeded. We have continued our tabular column filling in our iterations. But in this case, in 12 simplex method, the procedure is exactly opposite. That means you have to swap the concept in finding the entering variable as well as leaving variable. So that concept you have to swap. That means you have to find out you have to observe, instead of observing the minus f row, you have to check the solution, that is BI solution column, you have to observe. Okay, and in that column you have to find out the most negative, right? Most negative row you have to find out. Okay, so that it is happened here, it is -74. Okay, so this is our most negative row. That means minimum negative value, you can say. So that row is our most negative row, and this row corresponds to the leaving. That is this, the row, if you go to this basic variables, then you will get x5. So the x5 is leaving variable, right? So the thing is, the difference is in simplex method, first you will find out the entering variable, then you will find out the leaving variable. In dual simplex method, first you will find out the leaving variable and then you will find out the entering. That is the only difference. Okay. So in this case, RSC row is row, the corresponding row. The pivotal column will be you have to now you have to find out the entering variable. Now to find out the entering variable, you have to find out ratio. In this case, ratio. And in this case, the ratio is defined as, in dual simplex method, the ratio is defined in a different manner. That is, ratio is, you have to find out the ratio. The ratio is defined as you have to, first of all, you have to consider this row and minus f row as well as this x5 row you have to consider, and you have to take the ratio between ratio between the corresponding elements of these two rows. And one difference is that that means the element in minus f row, the first element, that is 20, divided by the negative. That means you have to multiply this row x5 row by minus 1, so that this minus 2 becomes 2, then 1, 0, 0, minus 1 you will get. So, and how to take the ratio between this element, the corresponding elements of minus f row as well as x5 row, and it will be 20 by 2. And first yes, you can write here, that is ratio here, it will be a row, ratio will be equal to this ci divided by minus ai, negative. That means you have to multiply minus 1 to this x5 row and then you have to take it as a denominator. So that means 20 by 2, get here, that's equal to 10, and here in this case you will get 16 divided by 1, and that's equal to 16 you will get. And you have, yes, in x3 column we have s0 by 0, so there's nothing meaning for that, and then 0 by 0, then 0 by minus 1 you will get, and 0 by 0, like that, 1 by 0, like that you will get. And you observe this ratio row and neglect all the negative values you have to neglect, and you have to consider only the positive values, and in that positive values, in that set of positive values which is minimum, that you have to consider. So this 10 is minimum, then this happen that this 10 is got is happened within here. So this 10 and the column corresponding to 10 is x1 column. So this x1 enters. So x1 is entering variable. Okay, so that means in the next table, in place of x5 you have to write x1, and in the next step what you have to do is this minus 2 Now you got the pivot position and pivot element as -2. So this pivot element -2 how to make it unity. So you have to do that by some column operations. Sorry, not column operation. It is row operations only. Okay, by considering row operations, you have to make it this as one. Okay, one, and so our updated table will looks like this. That means here, yes, this x1. That means x1 entered into this basic variables group is set, and x5 it is got relieved from here. Okay, and similarly we got this yes r x this is, let us say, r1, r2, and r3. So r3 is changed to minus 1 by 2 r3. So what we will get is here 1, then 1 by 2 0 minus 1 by 2 is this, like this. Okay, okay. And then yes, how to proceed by considering by finding out the, again you have to find out, apply the previous concept. That means you have to observe this BI column again, and you have to find out the which is the most negative value in this column. So that happen it has -6 minimum pivot row. So that you have to take it as the minimum pivot row. So that row corresponds to this x4 basic variable. So the x4 is this basic variable set. It is, and you have to find out the entering variable. So in order to find out that, you have to fill the ratio row find out. So how to fill this? This is same as before. That means you have to you have to consider this minimum pivot row, and -1 you have to multiply. That means you have this ci divided by minus ai. That means ci means this is c1, c2, c3, etc. And ai means this a1, a2, etc. a1, a4, a5, a6, a7, etc. So ci divided by minus ai means yes, here not defined. Here 6 you have 6, right? So 6 then 0 is like that. So here is not defined and not defined. Here also so 6. So you have to take the positive values. You have to consider that, and 6 is your minimum value here, and this x2. So x2 and this as basic variable. Basic variable. So you got the pivot element, pivot position -1. So this position you have to make it as 1, and all other elements in that column you have to make it as 0 by suitable row operations only. So then after doing all those operations, you will get this table, okay, in which this x2 enters, and place of previously we have x2 entering and x4 is leave. So this is our new table. Okay, and in this way you have to proceed. This way you have to proceed until this BI, the solution column, becomes all positive. Solution column up to here, these elements. Okay, the set of elements becomes positive. So up until that you have to repeat this process. And after I got after another updating this table once again, I got the final answer as this. Okay, so if you observe the solution column BI column, all the elements, all the entries are positive. Okay, so in this step you can stop the updation of table, and the dual simplex method is ended here, is finished here. Okay, so you can stop the updation, and the final optimum solution is, or solutions are, like in our simplex method, the same manner the same manner you can find out the optimum solutions here also. That means you have the basic variables x3, x2, x1 and x4. So we will compare this basic variable column with the solution column, so that I will get x3 equal to 5 by x2. So these are star, that is optimum value. So x2 star will be 7, then x1 optimum equal to 5, then x4 optimum solution is 1. Right. So this is our solution, and all other non-basic variables. Non-basic variables x1, then next x3, x4, x5 and x6. Actually x1 is x1 is 5. So that is basic variable, not non-basic variable. So xy and x6 both are equal to 0. Okay, this is our final solution, final optimal solution for all the variables. And the minimized value f minimum, f min will be equal to 212. Okay, this is dual simplex method explanation. So how to solve ALPP using dual simplex method. So that is what our discussion. So thank you.